Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to put together June 10 on 10, a little project that I have done since the beginning of the year where I use Ashley Horton's printable kits from her shop, the CutShoppe. They're called Document 365. And so this is the June one, and I am loving this project. And this also means that after I finish up June, I can do a walkthrough of the first 6 months, which I'm excited to share with you. I also have a fun idea on how to make a cover, so if it comes together, I will show it to you and be very excited that it came together. So for the cover page of the 6th month, I decided to go with the stripe pattern, and I turned it so that way I could have all the colors kind of in a wavy pattern. And above that, I'm going to put a die cut that says Summer Vibes. I also grabbed a little transparency number from my Ali Edwards stash. It matched perfect, and I decided to do that just to have a little bit of visual interest and use up a number from my stash because I have so many numbers. I stapled it with my mini stapler, but also added some double-sided tape so that way it sticks and does not come off. I also have this tab that says June chapter 6. I thought about, maybe it could go on the left-hand side of the 6, but I just couldn't figure it out. So I just made it a regular tab by putting it up at the top, and that will work great. And I love how colorful and fun the cover page turned out. And I will be honest and say that because my mother and stepdad were coming to visit from Missouri, I was totally distracted and forgot to take morning photos and nearly forgot it was 10 on 10. But I did wind up with just enough photos, but there's not a lot of journaling and there's not a lot of morning photos, and that's okay. So this photo is my mom and Papa and the kids, and I love it, and I had to do it 4x6. So that is on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side I have the selfie with my mom, and I'm just gonna grab some peach. It's kind of a peachy colored paper with a distressed, I want to almost say whitewashed look on it. I'll add that up at the top. I'm also going to use my Kerri Bradford block of stories. I think that's what it's called. It's a stamp set that I've used kind of throughout this whole project. So I'm going to continue to use that. It makes for great consistency, right? Just using the same stamp set. And like Ali Edwards says, if you have a formula, why change it? Or she says something similar to that, but she's always using formulas. So I pick out the phrases favorite moment and loving, and I'll stamp them on separate pieces of paper. I don't stamp on my photos. I've tried. I just don't like the look, so I'm going to stamp on paper. I stamp those, and then I will cut them out and add them. I will also use the favorite moment as kind of the starter for my little paragraph of journaling, and then I can write about my mom and stepdad coming to visit. Like I said, they live in Missouri, and they had not been here, I think, in a year or so. So it was really nice to have them over, and we went out to we went out to breakfast together, which was a lot of fun, and the kids got to update them on all their different activities. They've seen a lot of it through, the videos and the photos, but it's nice to sit down and talk. And then we came home and just hung out together until I was going to take the kids to the pool. So it was nice, like I said, to see them. It was really wonderful. And the visit was long overdue, as I told my mom. Not trying to make her feel bad, but I was like, this is long overdue, Mom. Okay, so moving on to the afternoon, it was the opening day of the community pool, and I made it work. I was an awesome mom, and I made it work so that way both the kids could have a friend come to the pool with them, and that way I can just sit. But no, truly, them having a friend is so much better when you have an activity, especially like the fun pool. I wound up taking a photo of myself journaling while I was sitting, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that photo as far as our afternoon. Journaling in the summer, at this point, it was June 10th, and I was only like 10 days into June, but journaling has become so hard. I will admit that. Journaling in my Archer and Olive notebook has been hard. It's hard to find the time. I am trying to make that a habit. I even put a habit tracker in my planner to check off journaling each day because I miss it and I want to be able to do it. So hopefully I can find that love of journaling or find the time basically. But anyways, I used my self timer and propped it up on my little pool bag and went ahead and got a photo of me writing. I also took several little pieces that I had just laying right there from the kit, and I used a blue dot paper and paired it with a tiny little strip of blue that I had, tore it, and layered the Hello Summer die cut right above it. And I'm just going to jot a note that says, while on pool and kid duty, I caught up on journaling. And over on the left-hand side, I have a journaling card that says Summer Highlights. And I'm just going to journal about the fact that after Grandma and Papa left, we were able to have lunch and hang out, and then we went to the community pool, and it was really awesome to be able to go there and have it open so early in the summer, because last year it opened at the end of June because they had a issue getting lifeguards. I noticed I forgot a word, so that's why I grabbed it again and made sure I got that word on there. Okay, so now I'm going to include the photos of the kids with both of their friends, and I love this blue graph paper. It definitely reminds me of the pool, so I had to include that. I have a photo of my daughter and her friend kind of laughing, so I'm going to go ahead and use that and just adhere it to a piece of paper so I can do the flip up for my son and my son's friend. And I'll also use a little tab die cut in just a minute. I also printed out at some point a vellum piece of a striped paper. It's a different striped paper than the one that I used on the cover. So I'm going to go ahead and use that because I figured I have it. Why not? And it adds a little bit of pop of color. I mean, I could have just stuck with monochromatic for this page, but I just wanted to add a little bit more of all the different colors. And in the end, having that little strip of vellum or little pop of color of vellum kept that consistency of the bold colors from the cover. That way, the bold colors from the cover are in another spot, if that makes sense. It's a very long explanation, but I think it makes sense. So this is the piece of vellum, and then I just punched out the shapes. So I love it, and it's going to add that really great visual interest that I wanted. And I also have the die cut pool day. As we were leaving, I got a photo of all the kids walking on the lawn. The girls wanted to play on the playground for a little bit, and the boys wanted to kick the ball a little bit on the baseball field. So I let them, but I quickly turned around and I got a photo of all of them because heaven forbid I say, stop, let me take a photo of all four of you. No, I mean, I was lucky to get the photos that I did on the left-hand side inside the pool. I was not going to push my luck with a group photo. I mean, I'm smart. I know that I should not push my luck, right? Okay, so pool day, I put that kind of in the middle and then the vellum piece right behind it, and I'll have another one down at the bottom. I'm also going to stamp a bunch of phrases to add to the page, but overall, it's really simple. That's something that I love about this project is you can make it complicated, of course, right? And I think some months I believe April was kind of a little bit more complicated. I got a little more fancy with my stamps and the flip outs, but this month, really simple and quick to come together. And again, relying on this kit to really help me pull it all together and one main stamp set, and that's it. And I love it. I love this project, and I love documenting the 10th on the 10th. It really kind of gives you a glimpse into life, and how each month it can be different. Like July, the 10th for July is all about being on vacation. So that's going to be totally different. And I thought about, I'm not going to do it on the 10th, but I want to keep going with the project. So it's going to be July 10th on vacation, which is fun. Okay, so I have a ton of phrases for this page. I'm going to cut out all of them and then place them where I want them. I have the phrase, a visual story. That's a phrase on the stamp set, of course, right? Duh. But it's a phrase I have not used yet, so I was excited to use that because you can really see the happiness on both the girls' faces, so that was fun to be able to use that particular phrase. Right above pool day, I'm going to put out and about, and diagonally from that, I have love these friends. And then for the flip up, I have celebrate, and I'm just going to jot down just a little bit of a note about my kids and what their kids' friends' names were, and how I love being able to put together these get-togethers, and that I have a car big enough that I can take all the kids home, because that's what I always tell the moms. I'm like, if you can get them there, then I can take them home. So it's really nice to be able to do that for my kids, because like I said earlier, it makes for a much better summer and a more fun summer to have your friends for these get-togethers and go into the pool, and it makes it so mom does not have to entertain them. But anyways, that's the little note that I put, and I also put a really big vellum piece right there. So simple and done. Okay, so now we're moving on to the evening, and in the evening I took a walk with my husband, but I guess I did not take a lot of photos, so that's okay. I guess he got off on not getting a selfie with me, so lucky for my husband. But I did get this amazing photo of this tree that was blossoming, and the blossom looked like something from Dr. Seuss. It is amazing. I think the tree is a Mariposa tree or a Persian tree. I'm not sure which one, but it's one of those. And I decided to do that as a 4x6 photo, and then across from it, I did the pink sunset journaling card, since I always like to end my monthly pages on the left. And I just love how this pink card really coordinates so well with my photo. And you guys, this blossom and this tree is just so pretty. But over the summer, I've seen how this tree has just shed so much. And when I posted about it on Instagram, everybody was telling me how messy this tree gets. And yes, it does. Absolutely so messy. Thankfully, it's not my tree, but it is very messy and all over the street. Anyways, so I stamped a ton of phrases, and one of the ones that I'm going to put on the right hand side is observation and bits of life, and I kind of staggered them away from each other, so that way it just again added a little bit of visual interest. And over on the left hand side, I'm going to do happiness, overload, and must see this. I will also insert my vellum piece in between it. The vellum insert is the 4x6 page that I make with the digital stamps every month, and I absolutely love making them. I just can't get enough of making them. So I had summer vibes and Saturday, summer love with the sunglasses, poolside, and then summer. It's just a great way to use up the digital stamps and makes a really big visual impact with these little inserts. So you can see I just grabbed it and inserted it. So the last little page is all the evening photos, and I just shrunk them down really tiny so that way they would fit on this 4x6 canvas. So I have a picture of dinner, which was bean and cheese quesadillas, and then my kids saying goodnight to each other, which my son would probably never be happy with me telling you that, but he is an awesome brother, and I think most nights says goodnight to his sister, which is really cool. And then late night reading and stealing my son's cereal, as you can see, Cocoa Pebbles. I mean, that was my cereal when I was a kid, and now my kid is eating it. But I try to stay clear of it, but sometimes I just can't resist it. I had this sun paper, and I decided to just cut out some suns and use it, 2 of them on the page, just for a little bit of, visual movement around the page. And then I will stamp a phrase right below the quesadilla page. That way I can just make a list of what the evening was. And then the project will be done, and I can put the pages back in and share it all with you. And like I said, super, super excited to do a complete walkthrough for the first 6 months of this project. Okay, the stamp was on this day, and I just wrote out the bullet points. So an evening walk with just us 2, and our dinner, and the kids being nice to each other and loving each other, and then reading an awesome book, yours truly. And that is actually reading journal spread if you wanted to check that out. Okay, so I've got these all done, and now I can put them back in my little notebook that is so chunky and cute, and I can do a quick flip through. I did forget to glue 2 of the pages together back to back, so that's what I'm going to do right now, and then I can show you the little flip through. But I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing all of these pages to come together and hearing about my stories behind the photos and my process. I thoroughly appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Okay, so I'm going to do the flip through of the pages, grab my binder or my little notebook, and then show you, and it turned out fantastic. So hope you enjoyed. I love a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, I would love a subscribe. All right, have a great day. Bye.